Do you know where the salt is?
No, it's good.
It's right there.
Lisa Garner says she finds joy in teaching 62-year-old Paul how to bake, cook, and clean, all part of her daily routine as his home share provider for the last 18 years. His legal guardians have asked we don't use his name.
We're good? We just need a little more oil.
Garner is among thousands of home share providers across the province who are employed to provide care for adults living with developmental disabilities, living together, providing meals, care, and support. And she says that work has become 24/7 since the start of the pandemic, explaining that's because support programs have either been canceled or scaled back for COVID safety. And Paul is too vulnerable to send out right now.
My client would go from 8:30 in the morning till 3 in the afternoon. I'm now having to create a day program in those hours. I can't do anything else, can't go anywhere.
The president of the BC Home Share Providers Association, Selena Martin, says many of the 600 providers she represents are in the same boat.
Probably over 80% of the caregivers haven't had a break since March. And so imagine working 24/7 and no time off.
Do you want to build something?
She says arts and crafts like Garner is doing here with Paul would usually happen at the daytime programs, and caregivers would be working a different job. But now, for many home share providers, they live with no break, and they say they're not receiving extra pay for it. And the association is calling on the province for more emergency funds and aids to compensate for this.
We need to have respite homes and emergency beds available. We can't find workers, or if we do find workers, often we are paying the worker more than we are paid per day.
The province says it provided more than $15 million in extra support funding from April until August. Garner received $1,200 a month for that time, putting the dollars towards Paul's needs. But while the funding has since stopped, Garner says her devotion to Paul has not.
When my son was younger, he used to call him Uncle Paul because he didn't understand, because I had Paul longer than I had my son. We do this because we genuinely care for the individuals and want them to have somewhere to live.
Martin says her association was formed in 2012 because the contracted caregivers have no union and feel their calls for additional help are being ignored. The province tells CBC News it is working to identify ongoing support needs of families and providers. Martin and Garner say they need to see those funds and aids now. Zara Premji, CBC News, Vancouver.